Now, Fatima, are we ready to go? Are we on the recording line? Okay, welcome. We appreciate again all of you being here. Today is Tuesday, what day? The 4th day of August, 2015, 1 o'clock p.m. This is our, as I explained earlier, we apologize to those who came earlier. We had to adjust our meeting today with an awful lot of things going on, and we are grateful to have so many good things going on in our community and to have so many things we have to work around. But it's an exciting day. It's the beginning of our Weber County Fair. Starting tomorrow, we hope all of you will take the opportunity to come out and join it and be a part of it. In the spirit of that, we've all got our fair shirts on as we're supposed to. I like these a lot better than last year. I don't know, do you remember last year's fair shirts? Mm-hmm. Because I do. It was kind of hard. It was the brightest mustard color, and I had a hard time wearing it, but it got the point across, right, that something was different, and it was Weber County Fair time. So today they were Jan is not here because she's preparing for the fair, but she was much more kind to us and gave us a nice white shirt. So we're excited about it. But the Weber County Fair is an exciting time for us, and it's something that we work hard on all year long, and appreciate all of the volunteer hours and hard work that goes into that. There's so many folks who participate in that. So we're so excited to have the opportunity to participate in that. And commissioners, why don't you tell the group where you've been this morning and why you were just a little bit late and what you were participating in?
Well, I'll start off. Sorry, I'm going to have to wear my sunglasses, but I can't see without them. I left my real glasses in my car that is parked somewhere in Ogden, and it will be towed before long, I have a feeling. But
and that will be my fault because I wouldn't let him stop and get his car because we were in a hurry.
Because we were in a hurry to get to here. So we've been out to tour Utah. Had an opportunity to say a few words at first, get it started. We had an opportunity to give out the awards, and the women's portion of the tour is now ended. And in another 45 minutes, we're going to go give some more awards out for the men's tour. The men's tour started up there in Tremont, and it's going to either go up or down Ogden Canyon, up or down over North Ogden Divide, and end up down here. It's a great bike race. It's a world famous. There's people from all over the world in this race. We're on the map. It's live on Fox News or Fox Sports. Fox Sports. It's live. So there's a lot of great things going on there, and so it's great to be part of it, and the enthusiasm, and these gals that just ran, they worked hard, and you should have seen that pack because they were zipping right around the city and riding. So it's a great thing for downtown. A lot of people are down there, so and we're glad to be part of it. And with Ogden, we're great partners, and this has been just a fabulous thing that we've had here in the county. Our as we've been doing bikes, and we want people to know that we're the outdoor mecca, and we want to be that as long with all the other things we do. So.
And I'm just going to add, I just came from a meeting across the street at the Hilton Garden Inn, and it was a meeting of the Utah wool growers. So if that doesn't express the diversity in our county and in our community, I don't know what does. I mean, great group of individuals who make their living from the land and are here in a great metropolitan area to talk about the things that they're concerned about. So I just thought that was an interesting contrast and shows you a little bit about what our county is. There's an awful lot of great diversity and great individuals here. So, Commissioner Ebert, anything else?
I just spent the morning with the youth as they were weighing in livestock for the fair. And that was a tremendous experience, watching their enthusiasm. And then with Commissioner Bell, went over the tour of Utah. So we have a lot of stuff going, and it's a lot of fun. Whatever your interest is, we've got something for you, for sure.
If you need a good freezer beef for your freezer, or hog, or lamb, we can help you with that this week.
Yes, we can.
All right. We'll give thanks today for Sylvia Salisbury, who is here as she has many weeks, and she will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Right after, I got ahead of myself, Lance Peterson, our emergency manager, will offer our invocation, and then Sylvia will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and Commissioner Ebert will have the thought of the day.
Our Father in heaven, we're grateful to be here today in this commission meeting, and we're grateful for this wonderful country and the freedoms and liberties that we enjoy. We ask Thee to bless commissioners and the mayors of all the cities here in this community where we live, that Thy blessings will be upon them and lead and guide them so that we can provide good government for the citizens here in this county. We ask Thee for Thy blessings and thank Thee for all that we have, and say these things in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Stand and join me.
So this morning we spent several hours at the tour of Utah and the Weber County Fair. And that undertaking is only made possible by the citizens of this county who volunteer a tremendous amount of hours. So the thought that I had today is that the true value of a community is truly the people that make that community up. And I don't know who may have said it before I thought it, but I thought it today. So I said it.
Good one, Commissioner. Okay, we'll move to our consent items. Item number 1 is a request for approval of purchase orders in the amount of $136,877.69. Request for approval of warrants number 323520 through 323800 in the amount of $916,148.37. Request for approval of minutes for the meeting held on July 28th of 2015. Request from the Weber County Sheriff's Office for approval to surplus 10 breathing apparatus boxes. Request for approval of the ratification of a right-of-way contract by and between Weber County and Anna Alfonsi for the 3500 West Transportation Project. Commissioners, those are our consent items.
I'll make a motion we accept the consent items as read.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I do have a motion and a second then to adopt those consent items. Before we vote on that, Lynn, will you give us a quick rundown?
Absolutely. Thank you, Commissioner. 17 purchase orders totaling $137,000. Largest of that, a third of it, or $45,000, went for SWAT helmets and communications gear. 28%, or $38,000, went to the Parks Department for front loader and flatbed trailer. 18%, or $25,000, was for 911 recovery equipment. And 11%, or $15,000, went to the library for books, materials, and maintenance. 281 checks totaling $916,000. A third of that, just under $300,000, was for statutory non-department financial and accounting software. 19%, or $171,000, went to Public Works for 12th Street, 3500 West, and Powder Mountain. 12%, or $112,000, went to the library for books and ebooks, and the rest were spread around 10% or less.
Okay, great. Interesting to see all the public safety stuff there this week. It's interesting how they come in chunks, but all important. Okay. Any other questions or comments on those consent items? Okay. We have a motion before us then. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes. Thank you. All right, to our action items. Mr. Peterson, if you'll come take the microphone. The first item is discussion and/or action on a county-wide mitigation plan.
Thank you, Commissioners. We have just gone through a revision of our countywide mitigation plan. Back in 2003, FEMA required all of the local city and county and state governments to have a mitigation plan. And the stick and the carrot there is if a local jurisdiction ever wants to apply for mitigation money, whether it's pre-disaster or post-disaster, you have to have a mitigation plan. The Wasatch Front Council of Governments was approached by the state back in 2003 to write the multi-regional plan, which included Tooele, Salt Lake, Davis, Weber, Morgan, and I believe Box Elder counties. And last year we started to revise the plan. It has to be revised every 5 years. It's gone through a couple of revisions. And when FEMA notified us that we had to not just revise it, but totally rewrite it. So we've spent the last year just about revising this plan, and it is now here open for public comment. We're not asking you to approve the plan. We're just giving you a notification that this plan is here for comment approval. comment from the public, and we will send it on to the state for their approval, review and approval, and then it will go to FEMA for their review and approval. And once FEMA approves it in Denver, then we'll bring it back probably the end of September for your action to accept and formally adopt this mitigation plan. There are about 100 pages of projects in here. What a mitigation plan does is it lists those projects or things that we want to do here in our county to lessen the likelihood or lessen the impact of a disaster. So some of the things that we have in here under the county, unincorporated county government here, is some flood inundation maps for sudden dam failure, seismic study for our parking terrace out here that the facilities people asked us to put on there. Engineering office, we own a couple of sewer plants that need some backup emergency electricity to operate them. And of course, continuing work on the Lower Weber River. There's a lot of stormwater projects in here. And we even have included strategies in here from all of the districts that participated with us. Taxing districts like 911, Weber Fire District, Northview Fire District, Bonavista Water, Pineview Water have all been part of this effort to provide us with strategies or projects that they want to do to try to strengthen and make their systems more resilient and disaster resistant. John up in IT has made a nice little webpage for us that allows public comment, and it'll send us an email whenever one of the public folks makes a comment in there. It'll send us an email. Paige and I have been talking. We'll leave a copy with Paige, so that if anyone wants to come into the commissioner's office and read it, or to my office and read it, we'll have a hard copy there. There'll be a hard copy there with Paige if you want to read through it. But it's just kind of a little notification here that we're opening this up for public comment at this time for 30 days, and appreciate your support.
Thank you. Well, we certainly will take the time to study that, and I think that's probably the best way to handle the public. In this case, obviously, the public is more than welcome to comment here in public comment if they would like on this, but they're more than welcome to come and be a part of that. Can we get that on the website as well? Just
Yes, it's on the website. John has an electronic copy on the website right now, and this afternoon he'll put a little icon on the homepage of our website to notify the citizens that it's got a new thing here. You can review the mitigation plan and provide comments there. So they can do it electronically or come into Paige's office or my office and review it.
Want to make
And that'll help us fulfill FEMA's requirements for public comment.
Okay, great. We want to make sure that the public has every opportunity to see that. I think nowadays, most of them want to see it in their own living room. So
Yeah.
get it on there, that'd be great. But it'll be in hard copy as well in our office.
Yes.
Any other questions for Lance? Commissioners? Nope. Okay.
Thank you very
Lance.
much.
Appreciate it. So we will take no action on that today. We'll move to our next item. And no Sheriff Thompson, but Mrs. Ebert, welcome. We appreciate you being here. This item is a request for approval of a modification, slight typo on the agenda there, to current 2015 Cooperative Law Enforcement Annual Operating Plan and Financial Plan. So, Steph, welcome.
Thank you. All right, we received a letter and a follow-up contract modification from the U.S. Forest Service on the services that we provide to them for law enforcement. The original amount that we had for the original contract actually had been reduced from what it had been over the last several years, and now this modification is actually reducing the amount that they have available to us again, from $54,000 down to $48,000. So I'm just here to ask for your approval for that modification.
So does the Forest Service think there's less people up there now?
I don't believe so. I think they just have less money.
So it's not a negotiation really. They just kind of send you a letter and say this is how it is. You either live with it or.
My understanding was that they were asked to cut 10% across the board with all of their budgets last year, and that's what they did, and apparently they need to cut even more. So we just get a letter and say this is what we have available, and So what we've done is just reduce the number of shifts that we have available to fill with our deputies, so.
So
So I expressed frustration on this last time when you probably remember. What happens, can you just tell us what happens if we don't ratify the contract? They don't pay us anything? Or what?
we still have to do it.
I believe that they just will pay us what they have available.
But we're still going to have to respond to calls.
Right.
I mean, that's the hard part in this thing is we may not do regular patrols, but we're still going to have to respond to the calls, people that need help or whatever's happening up there, which is even a drop in the bucket what they give us money for, in my opinion. We do most of it, the taxpayers of Weaver County pay for most of what happens up there anyway. And didn't that contract used to be like 60,000 or even more? Not
It was
too many years
60,
ago?
yeah, right. It was 60 for
Long time.
a long time.
Yeah.
And then they've dropped it to 54, just over 54,000. And now the frustrating thing for us was this year they actually dropped it in the middle of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, we received this contract just a couple of weeks ago, and we're midway through our summer. We've already been filling those shifts at the rate that we thought that we had the money for. So,
And we had a contract, but our contract, of course, there's probably a little line somewhere that you've got a contract with the federal government, it's all good and happy unless they change their mind, and then it's what it is. So it's really not a contract. It's really, this is what we're going to do, and you can feel good and do a contract, which in reality, we're not. I know I'm getting a little there. So now, this doesn't include the guys on the boats, does it?
no, we've been able to use some of those shifts for the boat patrols in the past as just as a kind of an agreement between the Forest Service and state parks and us. But these primarily are just the shifts up through Monte Cristo and
Through the
those-
campgrounds
Correct.
and the beach, going down on Cemetery Point and that, and our different beaches around the lake. So interesting. It's kind of frustrating.
Well, it's very frustrating, and my only concern with adopting the contract as is, we know that we're going to have to provide the service. And my concern with adopting it continually as they continue to reduce it is that we continue to send a message to them that we're okay with the reduction. Now, obviously, I'd rather have 48,000 than nothing, and they know that. But I'm frustrated, and I don't know if us not adopting the contract would have them not send us a check. You know, I guess that's something I'd have to ask Dave, but I don't want them to think that this is okay by us adopting it. I'm frustrated because, I hear an awful lot of times I've heard in the past that, Weber County's not a public lands county, and so we're not affected by the ridiculous, pathetic management that we see out of the federal government on their lands policies. But this is an example of one of the small areas where it truly does affect us, and it's far-reaching. It's not just this example. It's all over the place. We do have a lot of Forest Service land in this county, a lot. Not much BLM, but a lot of Forest Service, and we are constantly being forced to deal with the challenges that come from that mismanagement. So, folks, I don't know how you want to handle this one. I don't know if you want to put it off and have a discussion as to what our options may be, or if we just pass it and hold our nose. I mean, what do you want to do?
I think that there's going to be some more discussions later this month with the Forest Service. We can even get more broad out there. We on some weekends, the folks get up there, use Pine View Reservoir, and leave, and they leave all their trash behind. Well, that trash has to be picked up by somebody, and the dam itself and the beaches on the dam is the Forest Service's responsibility. But you get a foot off that, then they're leaving their trash in either county or Huntsville City, and I think it's a bigger issue than just this, which we did some discussions a year ago. We're starting some discussions again to come up with a plan for that Upper Valley, because that Upper Valley is very important in Weaver County. It's a jewel in Weaver County with our ski resorts. Pine View is a great reservoir. It's just frustrating when at the end of the day, we're stuck with that law enforcement contract. I would say we need to pass the contract, and that's my opinion, unless James, you have something different on that you want to say, but I just feel like that we need to pass it, and at least we made notation that we're frustrated.
And Commissioner, the effective date on the contract ends September 30th of 15.
Right.
I mean, we really only have a couple of months left on this contract anyway, on this agreement, and our services essentially end the weekend of Labor Day. So we're looking at a month that this really takes effect, and then there'll be another contract that will
It'll be less. Probably.
Probably.
that we can look at negotiating that starts October 1st of 15.
But see, all winter long, we're still handling those calls up there. We're handling them up there all winter long, and we get no funding for those other times of year. This isn't even enough funding for in the summer, because it's a different whole world up there in the summer. It's a different program. But I appreciate you bringing that here. And
As you visit with these folks from the Forest Service, will you please let them know of our frustration, and let them know that you know we can't keep going this direction. I don't know if it'll do any good, but I think it's good for them to hear it.
Okay.
And we'll do the best that we can with what we have to work with. Okay, Commissioner. Commissioners,
is there a
motion,
contract
please?
number?
304.
I'll make a motion. We accept contract number 304 with a little fighting and kicking with Weber County and the Forest Service.
I'll second. Can I make a comment now?
Absolutely.
So it's obvious that we're only about a month and a half into it. We're in the process already of going over their management plan for that area. I think that we can probably have a tremendous amount of influence when we start working with them on this contract as a part of our entire management, parking and facilities and stuff like that. So that you know, and you pass along to the sheriff, that this will be something that will be of a topic that we'll spend a tremendous amount of time on figuring out how we can resolve this
Okay.
moving forward.
Okay, let's vote on this thing. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? It passes.
Thanks.
Yeah, I had to choke over that vote. I apologize. Item number 3, request for approval of right-of-way contracts for the 12th Street project. Dana, welcome.
Hello.
You're a welcome surprise
Yeah.
from the Jared Anderson that we have listed on the program, so thank you. Property Resources, David and Julie Lehman, Rafter K Ranch, and I guess that's it. I won't read all the parcel numbers to it. I
Right.
think we'll be okay.
So
So
these
Dana,
are-
anything to add on those?
No, these are, number 3 just pertains to the 12th Street project. These are just the standard right-of-way contracts that we've been pursuing for the past several months.
Okay. I'll make a motion. Contracts 305 through 308 for the Property Resources, Lehman, the K Ranch parcel, and then K Ranch parcel.
Second.
Motion and a second to adopt those right-of-way contracts for 12th Street. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes. Thank you. And for the next item is the same issue for the Skyline Drive project, Gene Hamilton, and that's parcel number 5. Any additional information on that we need to know, Dana?
Not that I know of.
Motion then?
I'll make a motion to accept contract number 9 for approval of a right-of-way for Skyline Drive and Gene Hamilton.
Second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? It passes. Item number 5 is the same again, except for this one being on the 3500 West project with Paul Ransom, Gary and Amy Ellis, parcels 50 and 69. Any specifics on that one we should know about, Dana?
Not that I'm
No?
aware.
Okay, great.
I'll make a motion. Contract number 3,
10.
310, 311.
Second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? It passes. Thank you. I assume that you're still up for these next 2 as well, Dana. So this one is a request for approval of a contract modification, number 1, to update the rate schedule and testing process in the construction management contract for the 3500 West reconstruction contract.
Yes, sir. This is for Stanley Consultants. They just requested, I believe we wanted additional testing to occur on their side of things rather than just putting it all on Granite. So this is just modification to their existing contract.
Great, thank you. Any other questions or comments on that?
Does that affect any cost to the county by having the requirement under them to do it instead of
It will, but I believe that what they'll do is just offset it with,
the other? Okay.
with other items.
I'll make a motion that we approve contract 312, which is a modification to update the rate schedule and testing process in the construction management contract for the 3500 West reconstruction.
I second it.
Okay, motion and a second then to approve contract number 312. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Item number 7 is the request for approval of the contract by and between Weber County and A1 Abatement for the asbestos removal from the home located at 2108 Comby Road. Is that your home?
Something like that's where Skyline Drive's going through.
Okay. It is the
I lived on Comby.
This is, I believe this is the, one of the full takes for the Skyline project, and this house did have asbestos, so we have
Yep.
to remove it obviously before we tear it down.
Great.
And I think the fire, I shouldn't quote, don't quote me on this, but I think the fire district is going to use this as a
They are.
practice.
Test home? Oh, great.
They're going to test on it.
That's great. Okay, well, we've got a lot going on. Engineering has been busy.
Yes.
So
We appreciate
I just
it.
want to make a quick comment on that. So we went through 3 projects. We went through a Skyline project, 3500 West and 12th Street. This is a new time for Weber County. Weber County didn't build roads, but we're building roads now and infrastructure and getting this county set up and ready for in the future as things grow. And so we're doing a lot in our engineering office. We're building the road up on Powder Mountain, and that's going to be end up 1.5 miles, something like that, of county road mile. 3 miles of county road. And our engineers are working feverishly, and they are doing a great job. And Dana, we are glad to have her here and with us in the office there. She has been just so great with her knowledge and that. So I appreciate having you here. And we appreciate all the projects you guys are doing, because I know there's just, what little part we have to do with them is a lot of our time, and we know you eat, drink, and sleep them. So thank you.
We
Thank you.
appreciate that, Dana. We know that Weber County has, as you mentioned, has kind of not done all that they should have in as far as infrastructure over the last many years, maybe 100 years of neglect, and we got to catch up. But we are grateful. We know that you're working extremely hard, and we recognize that infrastructure is critical to our economic development in our community, and we need to do all that we can to make that work. So we are moving forward, onward and upward, and we are competing now with other counties for that economic development prospect, and we are tickled that we're being recognized as trying to do the best that we can here. So we'll move forward. Let's have a motion on this one. That'd be number 313, if I remember.
I'll make a motion, 313, a contract between Weber County A1 Abatement for the house at 2108 Comby Road.
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second to approve and adopt contract number 313. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes. And thank you, Dana. Appreciate your
much.
time. Nate, you're on the last one here, which is item number 8, request for approval to declare parcel number 09-095-0011 as surplus property.
Yes, thank you, Commissioners. We received this parcel. It constitutes a whole 1/100th of an acre during this last tax sale. And Mr. Schultz, who is an adjacent property owner, has approached us with the desire to purchase this parcel. The other abutting property owner has no interest in acquiring it. And so before we can negotiate a sale of that property, we need to have it declared as surplus property. I do want to point out for the record that Mr. Schultz is an employee of Weber County who works in the surveyor's office. And since that office has to review these parcels before they can be approved for surplus, we did not include him in that process so that he was kept out of the process, since he would be a beneficiary of this action. I'd be happy to answer any other questions that you may have.
Just assure us that you're convinced that there's no conflict of any kind there that could have happened.
The assurance that I have is what the surveyor's office tells me, and they say that it's cleared and ready to be processed.
So is that something, Dave, that we would need another surveyor's office to double check, or the attorney's office will be comfortable with that? Because I don't, even though it's a very minor, I can see the map and it works perfect to do, that we make sure that we're not getting any backlash of something going here, so.
They don't address value, they address the property description itself. So
Oh, okay.
I don't see a problem.
Okay. And then the value will be another mechanism we'll go through.
Right, we'll bring the value back to you when we have a sales agreement
Okay.
with them.
Sounds
The
great.
value that we would settle on at this point in time is the value of the past due taxes on it, which is $497.
Okay.
The market value that's been identified is $500. And so it's within $3 of market and what's owed on
Oh,
taxes.
okay. All right. Well, I'll make a motion that we approve. Is that a motion?
Yes.
Okay. And you want a number too? No, just, I make a motion, we approve parcel number 090950011 as surplus property.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, it's unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you,
Mr.
Commissioners.
Pierce, appreciate it. Assignment of Pledge of Allegiance and Thought of the Day for Tuesday, August 11th at 10 a.m. The Pledge of Allegiance. Dave is going to volunteer for that?
I'm going to volunteer Chris Allred. I will be in Alaska fishing.
So jealous.
Really?
Catching halibut for me.
Thanks for the invite.
We love salmon.
All right. Chris Allred will offer our Pledge of Allegiance. Thought of the Day will be Commissioner Gibson. And we're to public comment. Is there any from the public who would like to comment today? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to our final item, which is that we adjourn.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn and then ask if you'll come up and do a picture of the three of us real quick.
Second.
We're going to adjourn as soon as we vote on that, but we do need to remind you one time finally, the reason that he wants a picture is because we're going to promote the heck out of this Weber County Fair. We hope that you take time to get out and see it. Welcome to the fair. All in
Thank you.
favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.